Hi, I'm Siofra Bradigan, and this is Siofra's Magic Alcove. So, when I was in the temple the other day, I came upon my own particular notebook of lessons that I wrote, which I started doing for our group in the beginning, so that we would all at least be on the same page as far as they would know where I came from and where Ian came from and that kind of thing. Because if you're going to have a group, it's important to be able to understand where the members are. And Ian was in the hospital having his third blood transfusion, I think. And we'd already had like the negative experience with the other group where I'd taken classes from her that we've talked about in the past. And I was not impressed with the material that she used for her classes. It was mostly just all stuff that she picked up off the internet and no original thought. That was my opinion anyway. So I was thinking that I would share a couple of the pages of the text that I wrote. Because when I was rereading it, I thought it was a really great way to explain a few things. And then maybe read two versions of um, The Charge of the Goddess. The original one written by Doreen Valiente, and then the changed one written by Starhawk. There's a lot of similarities in them. You can tell that they're from the same. She got her inspiration from Doreen. And Doreen Valiente, of course, was one of the high priestesses in Gardner's original group that he started. And she has some wonderful poetry and stuff out there. It's fabulous stuff. So this part of the literature I came up with was trying to explain monotheism versus polytheism and what I see as what people think we think versus what most of us actually think. So here we go. You would think that we are obviously polytheists, starting off good, worshiping multiple gods and goddesses, since we talk about different deities and pantheons and explore them. But if we take it in its totality, we are at core monotheists, and here is why. The entire universe and everything in it, all of the galaxies, stars, planets, and space, and any life that may be out there, has flowed out from the great creative principle, the unknowable, untouchable, incomprehensible, because we as human beings are distilled physical representations of that divine energy, so have become in essence distant from the ultimate source. Because our senses and our minds have built-in limits, in that we see in a narrow spectrum of light, hear in a narrow band of sound, experience time in a linear, sequential way, our ability to directly perceive the completeness of the raw, unfiltered creative force is consequently also somewhat limited. Think of the Big Bang. In the beginning, there was a great void of nothingness, and then suddenly everything went from an infinitely small point and spewed outward towards the ends of the expanding universe. As the material started to coalesce into forms, stars were born from the raw material. Stars are the furnaces within which matter is created. In the depths of the nuclear reaction at the heart of the star is born iron, calcium, all of the heavy metals that make up the material world. Some of these stars exploded as supernovas and seeded the universe with these materials, which then were attracted to one another and again coalesced, this time into earth, physical matter, planets upon which the wonder of life would eventually manifest itself as those materials again coalesced and became what we have now. So you see that although we all come from the same source, we are many steps removed from that source, even though we are surrounded by the materialized essence of creation. In order to be able to interact with this divine energy, it is easier for us as human beings to separate out traits, personalities, aspects, focuses, to better able to relate near our own plane of reality with this unknowable yet permeable intelligence. Another way of conceptualizing this is to think of a large faceted gemstone, doesn't matter what kind. At the core of the stone is its center, but the facets on the outside surface, which still reflect the center, also reflect what is around it. The facet is no less the entire gemstone, but each facet is placed in a different position around the center to make up the whole. And no two facets are exactly alike, nor can any two facets occupy the same space and perspective as another. They are essentially separated from one another across the surface. I often think of the core of the human spirit using this analogy. There is within me that singular essence that always looks out of my eyes, my life. But I am sometimes happy, sad, tired, irritable, playful, etc. Even though each of these states is very different from the other, they all have that essential me in common, which is at the core of the experience. One can use this to understand the concept of reincarnation as being a series of life experiences, each one of these facets. And the soul that travels from one life to the other is the core of the gemstone, holding it all together in a cohesive unit until that the lives may not understand, being on the outside of the exterior, holding it all together in a cohesive unit that the lives may not understand, being on the outside of the experience. Sorry about that. So the gods and the goddess also can be seen as the facets of the one creative principle connected to it directly, but different on the surface from one another. And I think that there are a lot of people that think that or feel that, but don't know exactly how to conceptualize or express it. And, as humans, we're always trying to figure this stuff out. So the concept of imminence in pagan thinking, deity, god or goddess, does not exist above us or without us, but within us and within all of creation. Starhawk was once asked if she believed in the goddess. She answered, "No, I don't believe in rocks either, but I can pick one up and throw it or hold it in my hand." This is a perfect example of how most pagans view imminence. Faith requires that you believe in something that you cannot see or touch, but choose to accept exists outside of yourself. As the online dictionary puts it, belief in, devotion to, or trust in somebody or something, especially without logical proof. We believe that the creative principle imbues itself within all of creation, from the singular parts of an atom to the complex systems of organic life and everything between. So trees, rocks, birds, insects, plants, animals, etc. are all physical manifestations of the creative principle. The concept of imminence is echoed in many non-Christian religious systems. For example, that of Kashmir Shaivism from India. Shakti pervades the universe, and all things are created from the divine Shakti. Even though all gods and goddesses are created out of Shakti, Shakti is also characterized as the divine female. The divine male fits in this picture also, but they are one in their immanence because they are forever joined in divine copulation. These are the most basic male and female principles. The female principle is omnipresent by simply being everywhere. Since she is everywhere, there is no movement in her, because where could she move? She is infinitely large, filling the universe. So where is the male principle to fit, you might ask? Everywhere and nowhere. He is the axle of the wheel. The male principle can be there because he is infinitely small, and thus nowhere. However, he is moving infinitely fast everywhere in the universe, so he is also everywhere at the same time. So the two are each immanent, infinite, and one and the same. Anyone for a seeming paradox? There's always a fun way to think about it. So when it comes to inspirational poetry, like I said, Doreen Valiente is definitely on the top of my list. And this is her Charge of the Goddess. Listen to the words of the Great Mother, who was of old also called Artemis, Astarte, Diana, Melusine, Aphrodite, Ceridwen, Dana, Arianrod, Isis, Brid, and by many other names. Whenever you have need of anything once in a month, and better it be when the moon be full, then ye shall assemble in some secret place and adore the spirit of me, who am queen of all witcheries. There shall ye assemble, ye who are fain to learn all sorcery, yet have not yet won its deepest secrets. To these will I teach things that are yet unknown, and yet shall be free from slavery. And as a sign that ye are really free, ye shall be naked in your rights, and ye shall dance, sing, feast, make music, and love, all in my praise. For mine is the ecstasy of the Spirit, and mine also is joy on earth, for my law is love unto all beings. Keep your pure highest ideal. Strive ever toward it. Let not stop you or turn you aside. For mine is the secret door which opens upon the land of youth, and mine is the cup of the wine of life, and the cauldron of Caradwyn, which is the holy grail of immortality. I am the gracious goddess, who gives the gift of joy unto the heart. Upon earth I give the knowledge of the Spirit eternal, and beyond death I give peace and freedom, and reunion with those who have gone before. Nor do I demand sacrifice, for behold, I am the mother of all living, and my love is poured out upon the earth. Hear ye the words of the star goddess, she in the dust of whose feet are the hosts of heaven, whose body encircleth the universe. I, who am the beauty of the green earth, and the white moon among the stars, and the mystery of the waters, and the heart's desire, call unto thy soul, arise and come unto me. For I am the soul of nature, who giveth life to the universe. From me all things proceed, and unto me must all things return. And before my face, beloved of gods and mortals, thine inmost divine self shall be unfolded in the rapture of infinite joy. Let my worship be within the heart that rejoiceth, for behold, all acts of love and pleasure are my rituals. And therefore let there be beauty and strength, power and compassion, honor and humility, mirth and reverence within you. And thou who thinkest to seek for me, know that seeking and yearning shall avail thee not, unless thou know this mystery, that if that which thou seekest thou findest not within thee, thou wilt never find it without thee. For behold, I have been with thee from the beginning, and I am that which is attained at the end of desire. She wanted to make it sound old-fashioned and had a lot of these and thous and whatnot in it, which are kind of fun, but it can trip you up a bit. Starhawk modernized it a little when she did her version, and it's very similar, but she has changed some of it. So this is Starhawk's version of the Charge of the Goddess. Listen to the words of the great mother, who of old was called Artemis, Astarte, Dian, Mulicene, Aphrodite, Caradwyn, Diana, Arianrod, Bridget, and by many other names. Whenever you have need of anything once a month, and better it be when the moon is full, you shall assemble in some secret place and adore the spirit of me, who is the queen of all the wise. You shall be free from slavery, and as a sign that you be free, you shall be naked in your rights. Sing, feast, dance, make music, and love, all in my presence. For mine is the ecstasy of the Spirit, and mine also is joy on earth. For my law is love, is unto all beings. Mine is the secret that opens the door of youth, and mine is the cup of wine of life that is the cauldron of Caradwyn, that is the holy grail of immortality. I give the knowledge of the Spirit eternal, and beyond death I give peace and freedom and reunion with those that have gone before. Nor do I demand aught of sacrifice, for behold, I am the mother of all things, and my love is poured out upon the earth. Hear the words of the star goddess, the dust of whose feet are the hosts of heaven, whose body encircles the universe. I, who am the beauty of the green earth, and the white moon among the stars, and the mysteries of the waters, I call upon your soul to arise and come unto me, for I am the soul of nature that gives life to the universe. From me all things proceed, and unto me they must return. Let my worship be in the heart that rejoices, for behold, all acts of love and pleasure are my rituals. Let there be beauty and strength, power and compassion, honor and humility, mirth and reverence within you. And you who seek to know me, know that the seeking and yearning will avail you not unless you know the mystery. For if that which you seek you find not within yourself, you will never find it without. For behold, I have been with you from the beginning, and I am that which is attained at the end of desire. And I love her version. I've used her version, the last section of it, starting with "Hear the words of the star goddess," as part of our bringing down the moon, the drawing down the moon rituals for years, and find that that section is very powerful for bringing all that energy into yourself. So one of the reasons for the poetry is that it helps us to lift our minds and our hearts and our spirits to a refined space, more open space, bring us a little bit out of ourselves and connect with that divine energy of the creative principle that we talked about at the beginning, and acknowledges the immanence, not just within everything that exists, but also within ourselves. So, just a short little thing on that. Hope you guys are having a great time. This is Siofra's Magic Alcove, and I'm Siofra Bradigan. Blessed be.